Warning, we may be now seeing the final days of Keith Lee, as many are terrified that his life is in danger and he doesn't have much time left.
This is not Keith Lee's week.
Can you imagine being the restaurant that gives Keith Lee a parasitic worm?
Y'all know Keith Lee, the food guy, right? The food critic. I saw a video on my feed about him eating sushi for the camera. And
do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and eating me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in.
Warning, we may be now seeing the final days of Keith Lee, as many are terrified that his life is in danger and he doesn't have much time left. People were horrified after Keith Lee went to Seattle to try sushi, with a haunting clip showing an alleged worm on one of the raw fishes being consumed as it was crawling and moving up and down, with many saying it will lay eggs, hatch, and end the life of its host within just a few weeks. And if he or you notice terrifying symptoms like abdominal pain and nausea after sushi, as they immediately target the brain and nervous system, then rushing to the ER will already be too late to save you. With it being more common than you think, as 75% of raw salmon contains the roundworm larvae waiting to hatch, and many don't survive within just weeks.
A recent study found a 283-fold increase in a type of parasitic worm that you find in fish.
Keith Lee has yet to speak up, maybe to potentially not defame the business. The restaurant has denied it, and other people, including
So imagine being Keith Lee and you're a famous food reviewer. A business owner hits you up and asks you to review their food to bring in more customers to their business. And you decide to do so. And the type of food they serve is raw, uncooked food, which is sushi. While you're doing this review on camera, you're not knowing there's a worm on the end of your salmon. You didn't know until a girl on TikTok slowed the video down. And when she slowed the video down, you can see at the end of the salmon, there was a worm that was moving. Keith Lee, I get it, this is your main source of income, but did your mama not teach you not to eat from everybody's kitchen? Did she not teach you that? I don't think y'all understand. This man did not know that he was eating a worm. Unknowingly, it's different if he knew and he just wanted to try it. But he did not know he was eating a worm. And then the restaurant tried to make it seem like it wasn't a worm. Yes, it was. That shit was moving. I don't know. People just need to be careful with these restaurants, because these restaurants are very unsanitary. And I never knew that until I worked into a restaurant. The restaurants are so dirty. They so trifling. They not washing shit for real. Shit be cross-contaminated in some more. Like, this shit real crazy. And it's real trifling, because we trust these people with our health. I don't know. If I was Keith Lee, I'd be scared to do another review after that.
I'm so done. Not him sending out a warning to people about possibly seeing the last days of Keith Lee. The last days of Keith Lee because he ate a sushi with worm is crazy. Because to me, now don't get me wrong, nobody wants to eat a worm on accident, right? Because if you're going to experience it, like the life of trying new things, like the time I ate an escargot in Paris, you know, the experience is nice if that's something you want to do, but you don't want to accidentally eat a worm either, especially if it is tapeworm. I actually have this friend that actually took tapeworm. She lives in Miami, you know, that Miami life. She took some tapeworm because she was trying to lose some weight, girl. But now she cannot take anything. She cannot keep anything down or keep any weight on. I mean, like, she's literally like a pencil because that damn worm is eating everything inside of her. So I hope that's not the case with Keith Lee, but him possibly seeing us possibly seeing
Sashimi? With this as a sashimi?
Is it supposed to move? Maybe that's normal. I have never had moving sushi before. Y'all saw it move? Is it supposed to do that? Is it still alive? Somebody please chime in.
This as a sashimi.
You know Keith Lee got to be pissed off. He ain't say nothing since that shit happened. Picture yourself going to a restaurant, getting that food, coming out, sitting in your car, doing a whole video, eating that sushi or whatever it was, and a worm is in the sushi. Mind you, you don't know the worm is in the sushi, you eating it. But somebody on the internet, and I know you seen it, Keith Lee, brought it to your attention. See, this is why I don't eat everywhere. And this is why, come from a black family, I check my food before I eat it. To that restaurant that gave him that worm, you better count your days, because you know Keith Lee is quiet. Keith Lee has the power to ruin a whole bit. You might as well say it's done anyway. You might as well say it's done anyway. They seen a worm coming out of that man's food. And to make it so bad, he ate it. I wouldn't even be able to live with myself. I would not even be able to live with myself. I don't eat sushi. And I don't eat from everywhere. See, Keith? It's a warning. Y'all know the internet is undefeated. See? And that's why I say, I'm glad that I seen that. It give me another reason not to eat sushi. Waiting for Keith Lee response.
Y'all know Keith Lee, the food guy, right? The food critic. I saw a video on my feed about him eating sushi for the camera, and there was a worm. There was a worm in the sushi. I investigated it to see for myself.
Can you imagine being the restaurant that gives Keith Lee a parasitic worm? Like, just imagine that. Just imagine you're so hype when you see Keith Lee in your restaurant getting ready to try your sushi, buffet style, so you can't really prepare anything special for him, but like, you know he's about to try your shit. He's going to give you a rating. You're proud of your food. He gives good ratings, 8.5 out of 10. And then 5 days later, a girl on TikTok zooms in a little bit on one of those pieces of nigiri. Just zooms in a smidge. And we see a worm doing the fucking Cupid shuffle across that piece of salmon. I genuinely gagged when I watched that video. And I went back to watch Keith Lee's video again. I sincerely hope our eyes were all deceiving us. Oh, I know Keith Lee, when he sees that, I would be panicking. Oh, that... Prayers up to him.
Hey amazing people, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So we might be seeing the very last days of Keith Lee. Okay, I'm over exaggerating. It's actually part of the clip where this man basically said that we might be seeing the last days of Keith Lee because he was served sushi with worm, and it was caught on camera while he was trying the sushi worm, and people had to point it out to him. And the worst thing is the fact that he did not know he was eating worm, and the restaurant apparently the restaurant reached out to him to come to review, which is what he does, you know. So then he went to go to the review, and what he did was he started recording himself like he usually does, and people slowed down the video. First of all, I'm outside, so if you hear like, anyways, so if you hear like cars or birds, it's because I'm trying to get some of that good air that's out here. Plus it's so beautiful out. Look at this skin.
We actually went to Fob Sushi Bar a few days before Keith Lee, and this was the line. So, what do you guys think of the recent incident?
Everybody talking about how Keith Lee was eating sushi, but accidentally ate a worm. If you eating sushi, then you might as well eat a worm. So what's the hype?
Keith Lee might have just gotten a restaurant closed down. A couple days ago, he tried some greens from a restaurant that requested his review, and he literally spit them out.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks, got the greens.
Oh.
To be honest with you, that's one of the worst things I've had in a long time. It's extremely pungent, it's strong, it's a taste that don't taste like greens. I have no idea what that is, to be honest with you. I don't mean no harm, but that's a 0 out of 10 if you ask me. And to be honest with you, I don't really have an appetite to try anything else.
Could you imagine being the restaurant that requested Keith Lee's review, and he makes this face on camera, then spits your food out and proceeds to give it a genuine, honest 0 out of 10? Keith Lee literally never does those type of things. I mean, the people in the comments were more shocked than he was after tasting those greens. Now, he rated some other items from the restaurant before tasting the greens, and they were decent ratings. But unfortunately, I don't think most of the internet is going to care about those other ratings when he had this type of reaction.
This is not Keith Lee's week.
Oh my God, who that was you, bro? DDG, bro. DDG, bro. DDG, bro. DDG, bro. DDG, bro. DDG. I get your content. DDG, bro. I get your content. I thought you were DDG, bro.
If you're unfamiliar with this creator's content, they're known for doing pranks, especially one where they go up to random people saying, oh, you look like X celebrity, X influencer. Usually it results in the person being recorded getting irritated and pushing their creator away. So that being said, Keith Lee responded just like anybody else would. However, a lot of people feel like Keith Lee overreacted and is full of himself. Top comments saying Keith Lee let the fame go to his head, who he think he is. Keith Lee been acting like a buster lately. Why did they actually get so mad? Keith Lee act like he's somebody. Keith Lee showing his true colors nowadays. A lot of those comments are coming in response to the whole Rose Gate situation that happened at the BET Awards. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just click my last video before this one. Basically, some people feel like Keith Lee has been on an ego trip ever since that whole mix-up happened where Taraji P. Henson didn't know who he was. However, it looks like this video was recorded before the BET Awards actually happened, and I feel like Keith Lee responded just like anybody else who was dealing with a random person coming, shoving a camera in their face, calling them a name that is not theirs. Considering he has social anxiety and used to be an MMA fighter, oh boy better be lucky Keith didn't give him that left hand, right hand special.
Oh, I'm mortified. Because what do you mean, Keith Lee ate a piece of sushi and there was a live worm? There was a worm in the sushi. It was moving. Dude, I'm actually like, I can't even oh my God, the worm was moving. And he ate it. He didn't even notice. He didn't notice that there was a worm in his sushi. And he rated it good. Why could he do that? How could he do that? How did he not see it? Oh my God. Like, you're a food reviewer and you straight up, you didn't examine that food for longer than 30 seconds. It's because you were holding the food in your hand while looking at the phone, dude. And you didn't see that worm. There was a worm in your sushi. There was a fucking worm and you ate it. And you gave it an 8.5. No.
Also, from what people are saying, it seems as though the restaurant reached out to Keith Lee to come and give an honest review, which is what he does, is he gives restaurants honest review after he tried the sushi. I don't think they knew that there was not a roach, but a worm in the sushi, because I think if they did knew it was that, they wouldn't have put it or serve it to him, because they're trying to get a good review, because Keith Lee is a very powerful and very on point restaurant reviewer, and not everybody's going to like him. Not everybody does like him, but he does the work, and a lot of people do like him, and restaurants are reaching out to him for him to come try their food. And I don't think that Fob sushi place purposely reached out to Keith Lee to come try their sushi and then give him sushi with worm, knowing that he's going to put it online, in all his